If you're coming into the office and more than 50% of your day is taking a defensive position in the agency, how can you switch that? How can we change that to a 90% or maybe 80% offensive strategy?
Insurance dudes are on a mission to escape being handcuffed by our agencies.
How? By uncovering the secrets to creating a predictable, consistent, and profitable agency sales machine.
I am Craig Pretzinger.
I am Jason Feldman.
We are agents.
We are insurance dudes.
Right now, while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
We took our notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies led Craig and I to selling more than $10 million in premium in the last 2 years.
On this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the same results.
Just go to live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
If you jump on this call with us, we're certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.
All right. It's Jason. Back with the playbook. This topic today is interesting. We had a discussion in our elite group about retention. What are people doing to retain? What are those sales call or the cancellation calls? What do they look like? Like, what are we doing to retain our clients? So after talking with our team, there was a theme overall, and it's what I believe is the number one retention strategy. Are you ready for it? I wish we could do a drum roll. Brrr. Number one retention strategy, hands down, sounds like offense. So here's the deal. There's only so much you can do. Once somebody decides that they didn't get the service that they wanted from you, they didn't get the attention, that their prices are too high, they're pretty much made up. Now, it's important to have that cancellation call to try to save them, but the strategy on retention should be offensive. Meaning you should always look at your agency offensively. So really, it's always being proactive. It's making the onboarding process rock solid. It's constantly reaching out to your clients at certain touch points, but it's really looking at your agency in an offensive way. So bringing people, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, having the marketing first approach is constantly driving forward. I know this, and I think the best way to explain this is, those agents that don't have many sales, they get caught on the cycle of trying to retain every single client, even the ones that are a pain, right? Because I would say 3 to 5% of your book creates 90% of the work that gets done customer service wise, right? The other are silent. So really looking at it in an offensive way where it's like, don't get in that cycle. Don't get in the cycle of where you're trying to retain and that's it. It has to be disproportionate amount of time that you're putting into offensive behaviors. So it should be constantly not reacting, but being proactive in your agency, constantly having processes, systems, stuff to reach out, selling, and constantly keeping a flow of clients coming in. And constantly doing something to ascend them, right? To add on another policy or to something to grow their portfolio. So, and I think if you look at it that way, where if you're coming into the office and more than 50% of your day is taking a defensive position in the agency, how can you switch that? How can we change that to a 90% or maybe 80% offensive strategy instead of a 80% defensive strategy? Because when you get on that cycle of just defense, it brings down the morale. It's very difficult to get out of. And you need that fuel, that fire, that it's almost like, gosh, for me, it's like being alive, like to have sales and to have that team driving. It creates momentum in the agency. And I think that is key for agency growth. I think, is to have an offensive strategy rather than a defensive strategy. Now, so that is my word for the day. That's out of our playbook right here. And I hope you guys have an awesome week. It's going to be a short one, but get back to it. Motivate your team and just think offensively.
Hey, what are you still doing here?
Well, while you're still here and while it's fresh in your mind, check out live.teledudes.com.
Yeah, if you weren't listening before, we took notes from over 100 interviews with top agents from around the country and made it into a live webcast.
Using these strategies did help Craig and I write over $10 million in premium in the last couple years.
And let me tell you, on this call, you'll receive the exact blueprint to get the very same results.
Again, that's live.teledudes.com to register for this upcoming Tuesday's live call with us.
And if you jump on with us, we are certain 2022 will be an absolutely fantastic year for you.
See you there.